Hey, what's up everybody? This is Frank with Frankly Collecting. Wanted to give my 2 cents on the falling prices of MetaZoo First Edition booster boxes right now. So as of the recording of this video, booster box prices are going down to around $210. In my last market update videos on this product, we had seen them around $220, $230 as a pretty strong consolidation point. They had dipped down a lot, they had really overshot that mark, and then they fell down and kind of trended sideways around $220 and $230 on a daily basis. So the question right now is, does this reflect a waning demand in MetaZoo as a whole, or are there outside factors to blame? And so I am not a financial advisor, but I do want to give my speculation on why I believe this is happening. Remember, I am just giving you one additional perspective to help you all make informed decisions in the hobby, but I think that this is really a lot to do with a lot of outside factors happening in the world right now. I did a video around the end of December and going into February on a dip that occurred back then as well. At that point, the boxes had actually dipped below $200, and then soon after MetaZoo announced that there would not be second edition booster boxes, that news really shot the price up to almost $250 again before falling back down and consolidating around $220 and $230. Right now we're seeing a big dip again. Back in December when that happened, the stock market was falling, the crypto market was crashing, and it wasn't until January that we then saw an uptick again. Right now we have seen an even bigger dip in the stock market as a result of ongoing pandemic, the war in Ukraine. And I think that those things are creating a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, not only in the stock market and in markets overall, but that is also hitting the collectibles market, and MetaZoo is no exception to that market. If anything, I think we're seeing a lot more interest in MetaZoo despite all of this negativity, despite all of the bad news in the world right now. There are more collaborations than ever, there are more partnerships, people are really psyched about Wilderness coming out. We just had a nearly $2 million Kickstarter campaign for the playing cards. I've seen some YouTube videos talking about wallet fatigue in MetaZoo, or maybe just in trading card games overall with all of these Kickstarter games coming out. And I think that could be a contributing factor. But for me personally, I mean, I don't feel like I have to get every single thing. I have gotten some Kickstarter items, I have gotten some MetaZoo promotional items, but I am not getting everything. I skipped the Valentine's Day promos, I skipped the Wilderness Pin Club promos. I did go in on the playing cards Kickstarter, and if anything, I think that MetaZoo and the trading card hobby as a whole are providing a lot of options for players, and I don't know that necessarily everyone is feeling like they need to get everything. I think on the positive side, there's just a lot of options for people to choose from and find what interests them. For me personally, I'm speculating that there's really just so many big things happening in the world right now, especially with the pandemic, the markets, and the war going on, and MetaZoo is just kind of taking a dip as a result of those larger economic factors. I mean, if people are spending more money on gas and on groceries and on whatever else, and they can't pull out of their crypto funds because those markets have really gone down, and they can't pull out of the stock market because they don't want to sell at such a low price, maybe people are just going to tighten their belts a little bit and try to hold on. Certainly that's my strategy. I recently sold a little bit at a recent high in order to fund some of my collectibles purchases, and right now I definitely would not want to sell to buy a collectible. So I would be holding on or trying to sell something I already have as a trade for something else that I wanted, and not try to sell stock at a time when it is really low. Again, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just providing you sort of my personal perspective on how I try to make decisions. There are some things that I might be looking on eBay and just walking away, knowing that if I were to leverage myself and try to put something on a credit card, then I would be taking a risk of having to try to sell stock while the value is really low and lose a lot of money in opportunity costs from the potential growth of that stock in the long term. So again, if people have to tighten their belts, they have to spend more money on gas, on groceries, they're not going to be spending even more money than they were already to pay premiums on collectible items like sealed booster boxes. Naturally, that is going to depress prices in the market overall, as fewer customers are able to pay those higher prices, and sellers are going to lower their price to find people who are willing to come in at a particular price point. They are trying to find that price point, thus the lowering prices. So I can't predict the future, but if I had to speculate, I think we could see more lower prices. I mean, we don't know how this war is going to shake out. We don't know when the stock market is going to be going back up. We don't know how inflation is going to turn out. And I think a lot of people have that uncertainty. Get the Greg Games is a great YouTuber who recently did a video on graded video games, and there's a similar decline there. I think MetaZoo is maybe declining a little bit right now, along with the TCG market overall, along with collectibles overall, including graded video games, part of the larger economy overall. And we're just going to have to watch world events and follow the markets and see how things shake out and just how strongly or not these items are correlated with those larger markets. All right, so that's my thinking on these prices currently. I will be watching this very closely to see if these prices are going to continue to decline. I really don't think that MetaZoo is going to be weaker as a result of this. I think on the secondary market, we're going to be seeing these lower prices. Maybe it'll be a good time to go in if you're looking at it as an investment, or if you're trying to get your collectible items for your personal collection and want to get some cheaper prices. Now could be a good time, or maybe you want to hold out and see if prices will continue to go down even further. So we'll see. I do think in the middle and the long term that MetaZoo is going to continue to be very successful. We're not seeing a slowdown in partnerships and expansions and interest overall. And I do think that at a certain point, once the world has evened out a little bit again, we will start to see higher prices again for these items. All right, hope you all have a great rest of your week and weekend. Please like and subscribe. I am trying to grow my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.